Here's a topic that I have a conversation about a lot in my private circles, and I'm glad somebody talked about it in media. All right, so some cat jumps on his screen, as Cam said. He grabbed his phone, he got his mic, his camera. He started talking. I've seen this guy before. I don't know his name right now. I should have did my homework, but I will find out who he is. I keep seeing him, so he must be somebody, right? Point being, he said something that caught me off guard. Track and football. Now, old school, y'all know how it was. If you're going to prepare for football, your ass going to run some track. New school, they ain't doing that. This young cat talked about that. Let's listen to him break it down.
Greetings. What's going on, y'all? Question. Why are football players so slow nowadays? You know why? Because y'all don't run track no more. Because y'all get with these trainers, these guys tell you to specialize. Listen, when I was growing up, every football player that was fast, we all ran track. Track meets was like a family reunion of football players because you go to a track meet, you're football one team, all the running backs, start receivers for other teams. So now we at track meets talking trash to each other about football. Guys, y'all gotta run track. Y'all too slow. Memo, if you are a skilled player and you don't run a 4.6 and you ain't running track, take this hand and this hand you need to slap yourself, okay? Because you got to be fast. If you're not minimal of 4.6, you're not going to be able to play college ball effectively. If you plan on going Power 5, you better be a 4 or 5 or better if you're a receiver or a DB. I promise that. Guys, even the big guys, don't just throw the shot put. Run the 400. Run the 800. So what if you lose every race, but you're going to get in shape and you can get faster. But you skilled players, like track was mandatory for us coming up. It was mandatory. I don't know what's going on nowadays. Kids not running track, and then you wonder why you ain't getting offers because you slow as what? Guys, leave a comment, man. Let me know about this, yeah, because I know back in the day we all ran track, y'all. Let's get it.
All right, big dog. He looked like he coaches somewhere. He got on that coach's polo, you know, with the little emblem on it. I'm going to do more than leave a comment. I'm going to say some stuff. I'm going to say some things to you, big dog. I push back on almost all of that, except big boys. If you are going to run track, get your ass about the shot put. Like, do that on your own time. Get on that 100, that 200, that 400 big boys. Like, I hate when I see a big kid who's already bought into the fact that he big so he don't have to run. Nah, your ass need to run. You especially need to run, right? If you're going to make it to the next level. All right, so that was the thing I agreed on. I disagreed about everything else. What I saw him confuse and conflate was his nostalgia and love for track versus what's necessary to play football. Y'all know I ran track. And it wasn't mandatory. I was just so damn fast I had to go somewhere and express that. And it was in track. Won the nationals in the 400, won the nationals in the mile relay, set a national record in the mile relay. That was, of course, broken because not only are the kids faster and they continue to get faster, but they're smarter. Yeah. Give these kids credit and give the coaches credit for helping the kids understand that if you're going to run track, that's great. But if you're running track for a specialized sport like football, basketball, you're better off specializing in what that sport is, right? If you're going to play football and you're going to prepare for football, you should simulate football. And track ain't simulating football. The greatest translation of track to football is not physical, it's mental. It's you and your mentality, the anxiety that comes from running track, doing it by yourself, right? Until you're on a relay. But even that, you by yourself. It's all interdependent at most. Most of it's independent. Say it, go. Just you and your thoughts. That's the only thing that translates to football, literally, is damn. They snap the ball, I got to do what I got to do. Track said, track, bow, you got to go. Mentally, what's my technique? Stay in my zone. Stay in my lane. Don't get psyched out. Don't look at these other guys. Don't run their race. Run my race. Football. You got to make sure you got the proper technique. Read the tackle, whatever it may be. See the play develop. Open hole. Attack it. What's the right technique? That's it. This speed stuff, they got it right now. They didn't have it right then. Let me tell you how. Track was, if you got a good track coach, he's going to teach you, the best thing he can teach you is how to run. Not to get faster, but how to run. Because once you know how to run, you automatically get faster. And I ain't met a single kid in my life that day one running, even if they fast, know how to run. Most kids, when they're fast and they're young, they think that speed comes from reaching out, right? Longer strides, right? The high knee action and everything forward. When you learn how to run, you realize it's all ground force, pushing down, pushing back, and then not letting that leg go too far back to come right back piston, right? And then you start doing this kind of motion. I could demonstrate it better on the track. But if you learn how to run, no false steps, etc., you will automatically get faster. That's all track is for if you're playing football. But if you're playing football and trying to get faster, learn how to run, and 2, run the way you have to in football. Christian McCaffrey is doing a great job of that right now and showing the world. He does a bunch of like anaerobic work, bunch of speed work. I think he doesn't run anything over 5 seconds. I think I've seen a video of him talking about that. But point being, all he does is break down a game, his movement patterns in a game, and work on the explosiveness of that. And that's how you get faster and better at football. Not running track. I'm sorry. People are still pushing back. Here's the big bomb. Here's the atom bomb. Name how many guys who ran track and played football that were amazing. One hand at most. Few fingers at most. Like most track guys with all that speed get to football and it ain't working. Want to know why? Because you ain't playing football running track. You're just getting fast. Okay, that's great. But even in football, if you're fast, that ain't enough. You got to do way more than just be fast. Because the fastest guys ain't necessarily the best guys. Tyreek Hill, step to the side. Deion Sanders, step to the side. But then we can name countless others. Ooh, he set a new record at the combine. That's the last time you heard his name. You got a little itty bitty out there, they're fast. Teach them how to run. Go to that specialized coach, a good one. Also, keep them in football and train them as a football player. I've learned this because I was trained as a track runner. Got to the pros, and even though I could run, I could have ran even better if I had specialized in football running all those years. But here I go, got a 400-meter mindset and stride. I got a 100-meter burst. All I had in football that translated from track was my start. My start was Javon Curse, like that world, like Jason Taylor, my start, my 10. But then the rest, I'm running track. I should have kept that football in me. If I would have had that football in me, that next 30 would have been the same as that first 10. And that's the difference between the Javon Curse, Jason Taylor. I don't know if they ran track. Didn't look like it. Looked like they specialized in playing football. So I caught you, Coach, and I love it. Actually, that was a tremendous little clip you got there because you brought up a lot of good points. But don't lie to these kids, man. There's a reason why you don't see people at the track meet that play football like you used to. There's a wisdom of the crowd. We got smarter. We got wiser. We're not doing it the same because we don't want the same results, which is all these fast track guys who can't play football. So beat it up in the comments. You agree with him. You agree with me. Did you run track? Did you play football as well? Did it help you? When you didn't know any better back in the stone ages of the 80s and 90s, running the mile. I remember I used to run the mile in the beginning of the track season. I'm like, I'm only here to play football once I got big. And I was like, this ain't helping me. Oh, it's getting you in shape. Aerobic ain't getting me in anaerobic shape. Y'all know that, right? Jogging around is a good base. It's a good base. You ain't making it to the next level just with a base. You're going to have to get that thing, right? You're going to have to build that pyramid.